ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the desert. I hope you're all doing fine, gentlemen. In today's video, we'll take a look at some general misconceptions about men. Alright, now we've always known that women, they're not particularly well known for understanding men, but what you're going to witness on this video is just outlandish. And for our article story, a man finds an S3X protection device under a pillow. So we're gonna do some investigation work like the detectives that we are to try and figure out what has happened here. But gentlemen, without further ado, let's get started.
Stop giving ugly guys a chance. Stop it. Beautiful women giving ugly men a chance legitimizes them to other beautiful women. We have seen this time and time again. We've seen this with Pete Davidson. We see this with Clinton Kane. The minute you give an ugly guy a chance, it doesn't make, you're not any safer with the ugly guy. You're just going to get burned by an ugly guy, and then you're going to legitimize him to other hot girls. Hot women are a social currency. I will say this until I'm blue in the face and you guys will never fucking listen to me. But if you are a beautiful woman, if you pour a lot into being beautiful, you need to treat that fucking seriously.
Beautiful women are a social currency. Talk about objectifying yourself. Talk about devaluing yourself to just a body, right? Guys, it's these same women that when Leonardo DiCaprio goes with the 20-year-old girlfriends, they cry about it. Oh, what a pig, it's disgusting. He views women only for S3X. Why doesn't he find a 60-year-old to date? It's these same women that cry about it, that are now telling us that attractive women are social currency. Also, I don't know who these two names she mentioned are. Probably some actors. Couldn't give less of a crap about famous people. But what, you think that this is like something that happens all the time? Attractive bimbos, 9 out of 10s, going out with ugly guys? I mean, don't you hate it, guys, when that 10 out of 10 goes with your ugly, overweight, balding dude, right? Don't you hate it? Happens to me so often, guys. It just happens all around. Wouldn't you see? Attractive women out of their minds dating very ugly men. Yeah, sure, mate. Sure, that's something that happens on planet Earth commonly.
That is commodified. That's commodified more than anything in this fucking world is commodified. Beautiful women are more commodified than anything that happens in this world. That the only thing that gives businesses legitimacy is whether or not beautiful women are involved. Ugly men have figured out a way to do the dance and check all the boxes that they think you want them to check. And it doesn't make them sincere. It means they're an ugly guy who figured it out. And he knows the minute he bags one baddie, the rest will just come rolling in. The odds that you get burned by an ugly guy versus a hot guy are so much higher because they have a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove. And you dating him just opens up the floodgates for him to date other hot women. You are not safe. It is even more dangerous for you if you date an ugly guy. If you're like, oh, well, look at him, he's ugly, I didn't think I had to worry. No, you have to worry more than you've ever had to worry, bitch. An ugly broke guy too. If you're gonna date an uggo, make sure he's paying some bills, because Lord knows you're paying bills. I don't know a single hot girl who doesn't spend hundreds of dollars on being hot. Don't fucking lie. Some of us spend more than others, but girl, it's expensive. I just spent $150 on my nails and my toes. Last time I had a hair appointment, it was $600 fucking dollars. I just booked a facial and a body scrub tonight. That's gonna be another $300. Baby, that's not monopoly money. That's not.
It's not working though. I mean, you're spending all this money, it's not working. Anyway. Nobody is forcing these women to spend that much money on makeup. Yeah? No, nobody's forcing them, guys. And women, if you are attractive, you really don't need that much makeup. Like, I'm of the belief that people who spend like $500 a month to look pretty should be like grandmas that are 60 years of age and they are full of wrinkles, and you just need makeup, right, to look more attractive. But I'll never understand, guys, women in their 20s spending that much amount of makeup. Like, why? Nature has already made you naturally attractive. You don't need to pour that amount of money. Like, it's crazy to me, guys. I remember when I was getting graduated and you know, we had this party of celebration. All the women, guys, that were like 20, 22, all of them, makeup was, I don't know, They're coming out of their asses. They were so full of makeup. They looked like dolls. These women that went to the graduation, they looked more attractive on a Monday morning than in this massive celebration, because they had hair extensions and fake hair and like 56 products on their hair. It looked like plastic. Their faces looked like a clown. I mean, the whole bunch of women there look like clowns taken from a circus or something. I'll never understand why women do this. Young, attractive women that already are attractive. You don't need that amount of makeup. So yeah, nobody's forcing you to spend that much money on makeup.
That's not play around money. That's not haha fun time money. That's fucking money. Everything I just said in the last month of beauty expenses is over $1,000. And you're gonna let some uggo use...
Alright. Don't give a shit about your $1,000. You know how many expenses men have to pay just to go on a date with a harpy like you? They have to pay gas that is overpriced like hell. They have to pay every dinner if they want to have a second one, right? They have to like buy you some flowers or chocolates if you go on a second date or something. Like, you know how expensive it is to be dating constantly? So don't give a crap about your makeup. Contrary to men, women can actually avoid paying that much money for makeup. Men cannot avoid to not pay the gas or pay for the bill, because otherwise there wouldn't be a second date. So cry about it.
You as a token to open up the floodgates for other beautiful women. That's what you're doing. He needs to be paying significant amount of bills. He needs to be spoiling you if he is ugly. I'm not saying that's not going to make him not pursue other beautiful women, and that you're not also going to be used as a token to open the floodgates for other beautiful women. But if you're dating an uggo and you're doing it for free, you don't know how this works. It's okay, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying, if you're going to date someone just for a love, haha, fun time dating, get as hot of a guy as you can. Get someone that you find hot, which is already difficult, because also as women, a guy that we think is cute, we'll show our friends and they'll be like, okay. Women are more universally hot. Guys are more like, if you're into that kind of thing, kind of hot. You know what I mean? They have subgenres. The only guys that are going to be the most likely to not dog you out are guys that are busy, working, and are mid. Those are the guys who are going to be the most loyal to you. Ones that are like, they're not cute, they're not hot, but they're not ugly. They got stuff going on. They got a job. You know, they cover some things. Those are the guys that you are safest with. The most dangerous guys are the uggos. The second most dangerous are the hot ones. Stay in that mid-range. That's where you're...
So here ends the video, guys. Ladies, there's your advice. Can you please stop dating ugly guys? Please stop. You're doing it all the time. I have a friend. He's a 0 out of 10. You know, like terribly looking, 300 pounds, bald, sweaty, doesn't take a shower. And he's getting all the bitches on Tinder. Like, there are chads, alright, that are muscular and 6 feet tall. This 5'2" overweight balding guy is getting all the women. He's just unstoppable, guys, you know? Ladies, please stop. Please stop dating the ugly guys all the time. Yes, very relatable story, you know? Very real story. Bunch of nonsense. Let's move on to another TikTok, guys, and let's see another misconception about men.
Men are so funny because they'll be like, we're biologically stronger. We're stronger than women. And then like one bad thing happens in their lives, like God forbid their parents get divorced when they're 12, or like someone cheats on them and they're like, I'm actually never gonna recover. Actually, that's my whole personality now. And actually I'm gonna be mean to everyone in my life because of what Rebecca did when we were 17. And I'm like, yes, you're so strong. You strong man.
Yeah, guys, well, this is just another reminder to never share your feelings with women. Alright, never do that. Like, these are the same women that will tell you how they love a man who is in touch with his emotional side and things like this. Then you share one thing with them and they'll either weaponize it against you, bring up in future discussions, or they'll make a TikTok laughing about it with their female girlies. So never share your emotions, feelings, or anything that bothers you with these women, guys. But again, I haven't seen that to be the case. Like, yeah, there are men who are more scared and are more emotional because of things like this. Nothing wrong with that. There are also a lot of men who don't care about such things. I don't know, this sounds more like she has 3 male friends that have gone through this. You know, her 3 exes, and now she is trying to put all men into one bag. But how do you feel about that, gentlemen? Now let's move on to our last TikTok before the article story.
No, simply no. I was talking to this man in public. Somehow Sydney Sweeney's butt photo came up. Okay, Sydney Sweeney's butt photo, keep that in mind. Okay, so he goes, you know, there was some cellulite on. I go, wait, not really. It was pretty damn good, like, that shit was fire. He was like, no, it just goes to show Sydney Sweeney's not perfect. Everybody has flaws. Even her butt sucks, essentially was what he said. I was like, I was too stunned to speak, okay? I proceeded to say, if Sydney Sweeney's physique is a testament to the sentiment that everybody has flaws, hey, look, everybody has flaws, nobody's perfect, then we are all screwed beyond comprehension. So then I'm just sitting there irritated, little irritated, like bitch, I have cellulite. Sydney Sweeney?
Oh, again, guys, very relatable. Just go and do this with every friend. Ask him what he thinks about Sydney Sweeney, and he's gonna tell you, oh, her butt has cellulite. She's not really that attractive. She's not perfect. Guys, Sydney Sweeney can have S3X with like 90% of men on planet Earth. This is accounting for the married ones, alright? Like, men are absolutely losing it with Sydney Sweeney. But this whole image that they try to paint where men are this, you know, very exquisite beings. Oh, Sydney Sweeney, not up to my standard. Come on, what are you talking about? Men are literally jumping at women that look like pigs. Men are dating down constantly. It's women who date up, who want a man that is more beautiful, more, you know, taller, more rich, more handsome and attractive and intelligent and all that. Women are the ones. Men are the ones who date down. And then they constantly go for women that are way down. So this whole argument, guys, we've seen multiple TikToks like this, women trying to say how men are so picky and so exquisite in their taste that even Sydney Sweeney, guys, is not up to the standard, and they have to whine and cry about it. Sure, mate. It's not like this is a cop-out because men don't want you for who you are really, for your personality, that you have to blame it on the fact that men supposedly, allegedly, they don't even like Sydney Sweeney. Man, what are we talking about, guys? Let's move on to our article story. It's time to put our detective hats on and time to try and decide what has happened here, alright? So the title says, protection device found under pillow. And this is a woman sharing the story. So clearing things up first. Room situation. I'm trying to explain it quickly in the initial post. So she posted another post, but things were not clear, and this is the second one. Before, it was his room, so her boyfriend's room, until my friend moved in because he lost his home. Oh, he lost his home. I'm so sorry. I hope he finds it. Terrible, guys. Sorry. Boyfriend and I still wanted to keep the arrangement even with our friend here. They play games together, so during the day it's the gaming room, and during my work nights he sleeps there so I can get a proper rest. I have trouble sleeping with him in bed because he moves around too much. It really isn't that weird, El Mao. It's just the living situation at the moment. Anyone who insists it's weird needs to grow the F up. Alright, so there are 3 people living in this house. A woman, her boyfriend, and a male friend. Right? And also, guys, how do you feel about not sleeping in the same room? I get it, to be honest. I mean, it sounds a bit weird. You're in a relationship, you don't sleep together. But hey, if the other person moves around or is a pain in the back, you're not gonna sacrifice your sleep for it, right? I mean, if you're married and live together, maybe try to find some other way so you don't sleep, you know, distanced. But your boyfriend and girlfriend, it doesn't matter. Not a big deal if you ask me. But how do you feel about that, guys? Second point, they don't share a bed. There are 2 beds. Our friend sleeps on the floor on a mattress. Don't come saying some crap. And my boyfriend gets the bed with the frame. I own the home. So the woman owns the home. I have not had any relations with the roommate in the past or ever. He was not staying in this room this past month. He was watching his nephew at his mother's house. Alright, so the roommate I presume, was out of the house. He only slept in that room for one night before finding the protection device. Alright, so here things start to get a bit weird. So this guy hasn't been there at all, the roommate, yet he went back just for one night, and this is coincidentally the night before they found the protection device. So it's a bit suspicious, right? Let's continue. Forgot to mention that one person stayed in that room while he was gone for the month. It was his nephew. Right, so we have another suspect. The water heater in their house broke, so the nephew stayed in the spare room for the night. My boyfriend slept in my room with me, and our roommate slept downstairs on the living room floor, so that his nephew could have some privacy. Alright, so the nephew was in the room where the object was found, alright? He only stayed for one night, and before I had this conversation with my boyfriend, I thought that maybe his nephew did it. I would not be surprised if he did something kinky. Roommate slept on that bed for the rest of the month while my boyfriend was gone. Alright, so there is this object that they found. I'm gonna name it object because I can't say the word, but the protection device, right? It was found there, meaning that a woman was involved. But there is only one woman in the whole house, and it's the girlfriend. So this is why the boyfriend is suspecting her. But on the other hand, a total of 3 people have been in that room that very same month. And especially the nephew was there the night before the crime, right? So what is going on here? The object stayed in... so this couple's protection devices usually stay in her room. But before, they stayed in his room before our roommate moved in. We had a big box in the dresser that is in that room. There are leftover devices in that dresser. Update. After speaking with my boyfriend, he decided to provide me with new info about the object. That it did have yogurt in it, alright? Excuse me. It was clumpy, which means it was sitting there for at least a day. So this would coincide with the nephew being there. How does this have to do with dating? Guys, I promise there is some advice about dating, alright? This is not just me reading a story. His reasoning for not telling me this initially is because he was so upset that he did not want to speak to me and just wanted to leave for the night. I think it's weird he didn't tell me initially. So he found it, didn't tell her, moved out because he was upset, and then brought the topic with her. He will not believe me for at least an hour, not wanting to communicate properly and using accusing tone with me. Unfortunately, I deal with this too often. I told him there is nothing I can do but be honest and continue to say the same thing. I don't know how it got there, and I don't know why the F it was under his pillow. He told me he needs space, which I understand. I told him take your time, and I left the room. Now, here's where things get weird, or weirder, I don't know. He did a 180, asked our roommate to ask me to order him McDonald's, was laughing in the other room and cracking jokes. I told our roommate he can come and ask himself. When he did, I pointed out the 180, he got mad and stormed out the room. Played a game and came back. Another long annoying conversation with him tiptoeing around this topic and insinuating things. He accepted that I was being honest. If people are confused, if there is space, I can, in the cracks, ask me to verify. Yada yada. I was trying to make it simple. Yada yada. So edit. Nephew denies the object is his. Alright, here ends the story, guys. So there are a few possible scenarios, right? Like, first off, maybe this is the boyfriend's object, and he used it to cheat on this woman with another woman, but then forgot to throw it away. That's one possible scenario. The other is the roommate. Maybe the roommate invited some woman over. The other option is the nephew. Now, maybe all of these people slept with the woman of the story, the girlfriend, and she cheated on her boyfriend with the roommate, even though she says that's not the case. Or maybe it was this nephew doing some weird stuff all on its own, right? So a few possible scenarios here, guys. Now, you let me know what you think. I think it's the nephew, right? He was there the night before. He's younger. He probably did some weird stuff. But my point is, with this whole story, you know, there's so many options, guys. Where is Detective Ward when you need him? We need to resolve this case on our own. And I think the woman is not to blame. So she didn't sleep with anybody. Because here's the important part. When people are accused of something, if they remain calm, it really speaks to me that they are not to blame. It's always when they get defensive and they get upset and they get all emotional that they are to blame, right? And you see this so often. People, yes, maybe you have this... Excuse me, gentlemen. Maybe you have this one out of every 1,000 people that is a perfect actor and he can be manipulative and play it out and act cold and things like that. But most people, guys, if they are to blame and they get accused, they cannot lie. They get emotional, they get defensive, they get sensitive. And this woman reacted in a very calm manner. So she told him, it's not me. There's nothing I can do to prove it. There are no cameras around. The only thing I can do is keep repeating that it's not me. She gave him time to consider on his own. She wasn't stressed, wasn't defensive about it and all this. So I doubt that it's the woman. But this is a very important thing, because you notice this with people who are lying, stealing, cheating and all that. They always get defensive, right? They cannot control it. They can't help themselves, because you really need to be some very good actor to pull it off. Otherwise, that is a very good way to judge if people have done something or not, if they get defensive. So this woman didn't. She acted pretty calm, which makes me think it was the nephew, which he denied it, but come on now. But what do you guys think about this whole case? You let me know, guys, what your detective work has led to. Thank you for making Ampus Day better. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode, guys. Have a good one.